Dark Shadows, number 6, VTR 1267, Air 1967, take 1.
My name is Victoria Winters. The stranger who has come to Collinwood has created fear and indecision for every member of the Collins family. But the greatest indecision rests in the mind of a small boy.
Good morning, David.
Morning.
Well, you were up early. Did you sleep well?
I slept okay.
No more dreams?
No.
Good. What's that you're drawing?
A bird.
That's a funny-looking kind of a bird.
It isn't just any old bird. It's a phoenix bird.
Oh.
It's a picture of the story my mother told me last night.
I overheard part of it. It was a very strange story.
I liked it.
Are you getting to like your mother better?
I guess so.
You're not afraid of her anymore, are you?
I guess not.
I'm glad, because I'm sure that she loves you very much.
Maybe she does. But I have ways of finding out.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. There. Picture's finished.
What's that all around the bird?
Fire. That's the best part of the story. The phoenix bird is burning itself alive. Scary picture, isn't it?
Well, it isn't the pleasantest subject I can think of.
Kind of gives you the creeps, doesn't it?
I know that's what it's supposed to do.
Well, doesn't it?
Well, let's just say that I'm not as fond of morbid things as you are.
That's because you're a scaredy cat.
Maybe. Listen, you better get Mrs. Johnson to get you some breakfast.
I already had it.
Oh, good. Well, I'm going to get some coffee, and then we can get an early start on our lessons for once.
Do we have to study this morning?
Well, the sooner we start, the sooner it'll be over.
I should have stayed in bed.
Liz? Good morning. Morning. Mrs. Stoddard is still upstairs.
I'm here.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't expect to see you up so early.
He usually isn't.
It didn't do me any good. I thought I'd have some extra time to play. But all Miss Winters thinks about is school.
Oh. Vicky, could I ask you a favor?
What?
Well, I wonder if you could let David forget about his schoolwork just for today. I know I shouldn't be asking you this, but I'd love to spend the whole day with him, just the two of us. David, would you like that?
Sure.
Would it be all right?
Please, Miss Winters.
Well, just this once.
Great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't mind the idea of a day off myself. There's a friend in town I want to see. I haven't seen her in quite a while.
Good.
Have you had breakfast?
Oh, I had something at the cottage.
Well, I'll see you later.
Thank you, Vicky.
Not at all.
Well, I'm glad you wanted to spend the day with me.
I'm glad I don't have any schoolwork.
Is that the only reason you said yes?
No, not the only reason. What would you like to do today?
Anything you'd like to do today.
Anything?
Anything, you name it.
I think there's a place I'd like to take you.
Where?
I'd like to keep it a secret. You'll see when we get there.
Okay. Surprise me. I love surprises.
Well, you might not exactly love this one.
Why not?
Well, you might get scared.
Oh, I doubt that.
Do you believe in ghosts?
In ghosts?
Yes. Do you?
Oh, David, very few people believe in ghosts.
I do, and I'm not afraid of them either.
Well, I'm glad you're not.
Why?
Because you should never be afraid of anything. I'm glad you know that, and I want you to remember it always.
Vicky! Hi, Maggie.
Hi.
I had some time off and I thought I'd drop by and visit you, if you don't mind.
Mine. This is supposed to be my day off, and so far I've spent it picking up after Pop. I'm delighted to have the chance to plop down a chair and gab.
I'm glad I picked the right day. Is your father at home?
Nope, he's out for his morning constitutional. I thoroughly approve of morning walks.
Why morning walks?
Because the Blue Whale doesn't open its doors until 12:01. It's the afternoon walks I don't like. How about some coffee?
I'd love some, thank you.
Say, how are things up on the hill?
Well, I may not have my job there much longer.
How come? Is the place getting to be too much for you? I thought that might happen.
No, it isn't that. I like my job there, and I'll be very, very sorry when I have to leave.
Have to leave? Hey, is Roger Collins up to some more of his tricks? Is he working on Mrs. Stoddard to give you the old heave-ho?
Nothing like that. Roger's been very nice to me. It's just that David won't be needing me much longer.
Well, who's going to tutor him? The ghost of Josette Collins?
No, his mother's come back. She wants to take him away. So I guess he'll go to a regular school wherever she takes him.
Is that why Laura Collins is in town?
How did you know she was here?
I hear all the local gossip.
Oh, well, I'm not up on the local gossip. I didn't know she was the latest target.
Laura Collins is the biggest news item to hit this town in months, except for Matthew Morgan. You know, everybody is wondering what happened to her, what she's doing in town, and what she wants from Roger.
She wants David.
Is that all?
As far as I know.
When does she plan to take David away?
Well, not for a while. You see, Mrs. Stoddard wants her to stay at Collinwood and get reacquainted with David until things are decided. No one knows how long that's going to take.
Well, knowing Roger, he'd be only too happy to get rid of David.
Well, he thinks that Mrs. Collins can do more for David. And chances are he's right.
How is Roger reacting to all this?
Reacting?
I mean, how does he feel about having a long-lost wife suddenly on the premises?
Well, they still are separated. But they seem to be getting along very well.
He doesn't seem at all nervous?
Nervous?
I mean, like he's under some kind of pressure.
Maggie, I didn't know you were so interested in Roger.
I'm not. I'm not interested in becoming the town's leading gossip either. I'm asking these questions because I'm more worried about somebody who is close to me.
Who?
Pop.
Your father?
I have a wild idea that he was somehow involved with Laura Collins at some point in his life. I've good reasons for thinking so, too.
Involved in what way?
I don't know that. And I'd like to keep my opinions to myself. Vicky, can you answer one question?
What is it?
Do you really think that the only reason that Laura Collins has come back is to get David?
Yes, I do.
I hope you're right, for a lot of reasons.
I feel very sorry for Mrs. Collins. She seems to have had a hard life, and she needs David very badly. From the little I've seen of her, I like her very much.
She seems like a nice woman. I have talked to her. She used to stay in the hotel for a few days, and she came into the coffee shop. We chatted a couple of times, just general chit-chat. But I had the same impression of her as you do, that she was a nice woman. And then things started to happen.
What things?
Weird things, Vicky. Things that I can't even explain. You know, I may be crazy, but I think Laura Collins is behind it all.
David, why did you bring me here?
Have you ever been here before?
No. I knew about this old house, but nobody ever came here.
I come here all the time. It's my favorite place to play.
What for?
Oh, I have all my friends here.
Friends.
Sure, the ghosts. Come on and I'll show you.
David, isn't it time for your lunch?
You're scared, aren't you?
Not in the least.
Then come on. She's one of my friends.
Well, isn't that...
Josette Collins. She died here and she stayed to haunt.
Yes, I've heard that legend.
I thought she might appear for us today.
Well, don't count on it.
If she did, would you be scared?
Now, David, I told you I am not afraid of many things.
I want you to see her.
Why?
I just do. Josette Collins! Where are you? Where are you?
Well, she doesn't seem to be here.
Josette Collins, it's David. Appear for us, please.
David, there's no one here. I can't see a thing now.
Josette Collins? Can't you hear me?
David, dear, we should be getting back to the house. Let's not waste any more time.
Why are you so anxious to get back to the house?
Because I don't want you to miss your lunch.
I don't care about my old lunch. Josette? Josette Collins!
David, we could stand here calling her all day. It's not going to do any good. Can't you see that?
I guess she doesn't want to appear to us.
Well.
Sometimes she doesn't.
Well, let's get back to the house, hmm?
Okay. Wait a minute.
What?
I just thought of something. None of the ghosts ever appeared to anybody. At least 2 people at one time. So, maybe that's why Josette Collins wouldn't appear to you. See, if I leave you alone here, then she might appear.
David, haven't we wasted enough time playing this game?
It isn't a game, it's real. If you stay here, you're just saying that because you're scared.
I am not afraid of anything.
Then stay here.
No.
I'll be back in a minute.
David! David?
Did she appear?
No.
She didn't appear? You didn't see anything?
No, not a thing.
Are you sure?
Yes, David, I'm sure.
But Josette Collins would want to see you.
Well, don't be too disappointed. Should we get back to the house now?
I guess there's no point in staying here.
No. Well, come on.
Okay.
Want to take my hand?
What mysterious things have been happening? And how do they involve Laura Collins?
Oh, Vicki, I'm not even sure that they do. I mean, I just don't like what's going on.
You're not making any sense.
Well, maybe I better start from the beginning.
I guess maybe you better.
Well, Laura Collins came into the coffee shop the first day that she got into Collinsport. We talked, and at that time I didn't know who she was. I thought she was just a nice customer passing the time of day.
Uh-huh.
And then I mentioned this stranger to Pop. And he caught a glimpse of her one day, and he wasn't even sure who she was, but he pressed the panic button. He was after me every minute to pump her, to find out who she was, what she was doing in Collinsport. He acted as if his life depended upon finding out.
And what happened when he did find out?
Oh, he flipped completely. He started hitting the bottle, and even more than usual, and then it started to affect his work.
His painting?
Yes. One night, he started to paint when he was so loaded, I swear he couldn't even hold a brush. And then the next morning, I found the beginnings of a picture that, well, it scared me. It It was completely different from anything he'd ever done before. Vicky was a weird picture. And when it started to take form, it really scared me.
Why?
Well, I wish I could show you the picture. You'd know why.
Can't you?
Pop wouldn't like it. He doesn't want anyone to see it.
What's so strange about it?
Everything. The weirdest thing is that Pop doesn't want to paint it. He says it's almost like he's painting it against his will. I believe him.
Well, this is all very odd, but what does it have to do with Laura Collins?
I can't explain that unless I show you the painting.
Maggie, I don't understand any of this.
Vicky, I've got to show it to you. Maybe you can explain it.
Explain what?
This. Vicky, can you tell me what would make my father have a compulsion to paint a picture of Laura Collins?
No.
Even if he wanted to paint her, why would he paint her this way?
I don't know that either.
Maggie!
Hello, Pop.
All right. Oh, I see. We have a visitor. Well, hello, Vicky.
Hello, Mr. Evans.
Well, I wish you'd pay us a visit a little more often. I want to... What's this cover doing off my painting? You showed it to Vicky, didn't you?
Yes.
Didn't I ask you not to show it to anyone? Don't you ever listen to anything I tell you?
I'm sorry, Pop, but I thought maybe she could explain it.
There's nothing to explain. It's just a painting, that's all. Nothing special.
I told her the truth, Pop.
You did what?
I told her the truth. I told her the whole story about the painting.
Thanks very much for your loyalty.
I'm sorry, Pop, but I had to tell somebody about it. I had to.
It's my fault, Mr. Evans. I was curious about it.
I gotta trust you, Vicky. I want you to promise that you won't tell anyone that you saw this.
All right.
Don't tell anyone. Not a soul.
Not if you don't want me to.
You're an honest girl, Vicky. I think I can trust you.
Is everything Maggie said the truth?
Yes. Yes, I don't want to paint it. Just something. Sometimes I'd just rather cut off my arm than work on this thing. Something forces me to that canvas. Something I don't pretend to understand myself.
Tell her when it all started, Pop.
A few days ago.
A few days ago? It started the first time that he saw Laura Collins.
I drew a picture this morning. Would you like to see it?
I'd love to see it.
Okay. Here.
That's very good.
Do you know what it is?
Well, of course I know what it is. It's the bird from the story I told you last night. It's a phoenix.
Does it look the way you described?
Exactly the way. David, what made you draw this?
I don't know. I just did.
Must have meant you liked my story then, huh?
I did. It was spooky.
Oh, I think it's a beautiful story. From the ashes of the old comes the new. I've always been fascinated by it.
Do you know any other stories?
Oh, I know lots of them. Someday when you come to visit me, I'll tell you all of them.
You mean you're not going to stay here?
Well, I'm not going to stay here forever. Soon I shall have to go away, back to the place I came from.
Then you want me to visit you there?
Would you like to?
I don't know. Is it really as nice as you said it was?
Oh, David, it's even nicer. I know you'd love it.
How far away is it?
Oh, it's a long way away.
How far? I mean, 100 miles?
Oh, it's much farther than that.
Is it hard to get there?
No, it's easy.
It is?
Mm-hmm. All you have to do is want to go.
ABC's exciting new second season is almost here. Tomorrow night, watch a musical special, The Beatles at Shea Stadium, followed by the premiere of The Invaders, both in color on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.